Hello everybody, welcome to Flakpanzer's channel, and in this video I am going to be going over budgeting. This is a big topic that has come over on my stream and in my Discord about how I can maintain a certain number of war funds every single war and keep making war funds every single war. So in this particular video I'm going to be showcasing a spreadsheet that was given to me by one of my other members, and I will give credit where credit is due. This is not my spreadsheet, but I do use it because I asked them to make the spreadsheet in this way. What this spreadsheet shows me is I can put my name in this particular section of the video, but it doesn't matter. I can name it Flak, and this would be my account. What you do in this particular account is you put into the spreadsheet what you have. So if let's say you have 5 foot guards, you have let's say 2 motorized guards, let's say you have 1 motorized infantry, and let's say you have 3 light tanks. What this does is it shows you what your deploy all cost will be at the end of So if you have, let's say, in your account you have, go over to the values. Let's say the value is, let's say you have 135,000 war funds as an example. When you go over back to your spreadsheet side, the AT side, it shows when you deploy everything, it will cost you 25,680 war funds. You have 109,000 war funds when you are fully deployed, and it shows this max deploys. What you need to do and understand is that you need to have a max deploys of at least 3. Do not start spending your money if you do not have a max deploy of 3. You want to be able to deploy at least 3 times of your war funds that you have, to be able to deploy everything 3 times. If let's say everything is encircled, everything is wiped off the map, you want to be able to deploy 3 times, and that makes it so that you have 3 mistakes you can do. If you have more than 3 max deploys, then you can start spending some money. Your deploy all cost is 25,680, so that means you can start buying some more assault teams. Whether you want to work on building tanks, whether you want to work on building more infantry, whether you want to upgrade some of your motorized guards to motorized infantry, whatever it may be, you have a leeway of some money that you can start upgrading. Now, in this particular, what you would do at the end of each war, so I would go over to my currency history side. Let's say at the end of the war, I started out with 135,000. At the end of the war, now obviously I don't have to put it here. Let me go back and delete this. And you can make as many numbers as you want. As you can see, it was just as a way you can see it. But let's say I did start out with 135,000. Go. And then the next war, let's say at the end of the war, I put in the numbers and I end up getting 235. So you can see at the beginning of the war, I made 100,000. Out of that 100,000, that means if I want to upgrade one unit, it's going to be 24,000. I can upgrade another unit, that'd be 48,000. I can upgrade another unit, it'd be whatever 24 times 3 is. That's what it would be. And this graph will change, and it'll show you where your war funds will be, and it'll show you how much you've made from the previous war. If, let's say, at the end of the war, the following war, let's say, after all your expenditure and war funds you made the following war, all of a sudden you drop down to 125,000, and you will see how the graph will change, and it'll show you that you lost money and where you've dipped. So you can see and value where you are on and how much war funds you have and where you can make upgrades, and if you should make upgrades. You know, if you've lost money, then it's not worth it to you to start making upgrades. You're just going to have to pay attention a little bit more on the RTS map and work on getting more war funds, maybe playing a little bit more in game and capping a little bit more, finding out where you are on the war map and not playing stupid and getting encircled. That's the only way you can determine if you should upgrade assault teams. I do not recommend players who come into the RTS map and decide, oh, I have 35,000 war funds and it's 28,500 to buy an assault team. I'm just going to go ahead and buy. No. If you do that, you're not going to be able to deploy all the time. You're not going to be able to deploy all your assault teams, and now you're going to be in the negative, and you're going to have to try and work on getting all the war funds needed to deploy everything, and it's just going to slow you down. You're better off just waiting until you have enough more money so that you can deploy. This is a budgeting spreadsheet so that you can always see. So, like, let's say, for instance, you bought a few more assault teams. Let me go back. You didn't have this negative, so you had you went up 100,000. You go back over to the AT side. Now you can see your deploy all cost. You have more war funds. Your max deploy is up to 9. So now you decide to upgrade, and you get, let's say you bought, like, let's say 5 more guards. Now you're up to 10. You can see that the numbers will change. 7 deploy, and then you decided that you're gonna get one. You dropped to 2 on the light tanks, but you upgraded to a medium, one medium destroyer, and so you upgrade that. And you can see your numbers are going to change. So now you're down to 6, but your deploy all cost is going up. So you have still some money to spend. You decide, and you're going to get, let's say you upgraded a few of those units. Now you're back down to 5, but now you have, instead of here, you have 7 motorized guards. So you can see the numbers will change again, and your deploy cost. My opinion is you need to stack on motorized guards. You need about 100 motorized guards. You need about 100 motorized infantry and about 10 mech, or sorry, 50 mech infantry. This is like the standard of what becoming a big general, having lots of war funds, being a big time person on the map is what you're going to be looking to have. I would say under the foot guards, you want to have at least 60 foot guards if you have the generals and the space. I wouldn't do foot infantry. I would probably get rid of this completely. I wouldn't even worry about them. Recons, I would do. I mean, in the beginning, I would do mostly foot recon. I wouldn't worry about motor or mech recons, at least not in the beginning. If you want to make war funds, foot recons make you the most war funds. Under the armor section, I would do light tank and medium destroyers. If you're on the US side, that may change because medium destroyers are very highly utilized. See what you have under the American side for armor, what's in the abundance. I would say the heavy tank destroyer is in abundance on every faction, and the heavy destroyer is probably the best tank to use against enemy tanks. So if you want, you should really focus on getting heavy destroyers. Paratroopers, a waste of money. I wouldn't even bother with them unless you have a whole surplus of money and you can afford losing 50, 100,000 war funds a war. If you can afford that, then paratroopers are the way to go. Planes, recon planes are useless in my opinion. They cost too much money and they don't make you the money back. Medium planes can be very useful and can make you lots of war funds if the pilots are good, but lately the planes have been nerfed and you'll pretty much lose money with them anyway. Heavy planes, they have a great range. They're very good at taking out tanks, but again, these are very expensive, and if you have money to use and lose, then I would probably get a few of those if you want. But if anything, this is the particular showcase, and it will show you as well this particular spreadsheet will show you how many ATs you have on the battlefield, how many command points you're using, what your infantry totals are, and I think that's it for the infantry side. And then you can figure it out on the tanks. It's down here. How many tanks tank crewmen you're using, how many tanks you actually have. Everything is down to exacts. So it'll show you how many infantry you're using per um, uh, from guards, uh, from what you call it, from your motorized guards, how many motorized infantry you have, how many jeeps you have, how many bikes you're going to be using. It's broken down into everything that you're going to be having, and again, all you got to do is put up the numbers for what you have, and you want to keep this max deploy number above 3. This concludes this particular video. I don't think. Oh, actually, wait. I also had on this made so that you could put your date and year and time that the war ended, and then on the side you'd put in how many credits you have, and you can see your fluctuation of credits. So let's say you had 50,000 credits the first day, the end of the first war, and then the next war. Let's say you had I don't know. Let's say you had 100,000 credits. You can see how your credits are earning and losing. And let's say you decided in the following war you spent 100,000, or let's say 90,000 credits on something. You can see where your credits are going. So everything is time stamped. You basically just copy and paste, and it will actually put the date and time for yourself. So it's best to follow what you're doing and updating and budgeting yourself to seeing if you can afford certain things, afford certain guns. I do all my expenditure at the beginning of each war. So at the end of the war, I come into this spreadsheet, I put in my numbers of, let's say, how many war funds I made. Let's say from after that, I'm now up to 356. And it'll show me how many war funds I made, and that gives me the idea of how much I can spend, giving me a difference under my deploy all cost, saying, okay, deploy all cost, max deploys is 10, now I can upgrade and get more and more stuff. I hope this is informative. I hope you enjoy this, and please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and like each video. I will be back to making more videos. Also, if you have any other questions, come and see me on stream at Flak_Panzer on Twitch. I hope, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, everybody.